more control over. And biotechnology, combining biology and technology, is making advances on everything from medicine to the environment. And if you can believe it, possibly reviving extinct animals. One biotech company claims to have brought back listen to them, dire wolves. That is so funny. Listen to them. They've been extinct for 10,000 years. So here's an example of what biotech can potentially do. A lot of other things it can do, too. A new congressional report finds that the fight for global dominance, in that fight, quote, China quickly ascending to the top of the field. And to remain competitive, the United States must take swift action in the next 3 years or risk falling behind. A setback from which we may never recover against China. Republican Senator Todd Young from Indiana is chair of the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, which published this new report. Senator, thank you very much. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Interesting. I want to start with this quote from the Wall Street Journal, if I may. And the headline is, "The drug industry is having its own DeepSeek moment." Many top scientists trained in the United States have returned to China over the past decade, fueling the emergence of biotech hubs around Shanghai. And just as DeepSeek built a formidable chatbot, Chinese biotech companies are also scrappier, capitalizing on a highly skilled, lower-cost workforce that can move faster. Tell us about the dangers here as you see it, Senator.
Well, thank you for covering this, Martha. What we outlined in the report that we released today is biotechnology is a critical sector with national security and economic competition implications. And the Chinese are indeed catching up in some areas, as we lay out in the report. The Chinese have actually passed us up. Biotech isn't just medicines anymore. It's not just what most Americans would regard as sort of Jurassic Park type breakthroughs like the one we heard related to the wolf, but it's also critical to fighting and hopefully avoiding wars. Our war fighters increasingly rely on super hard, super light materials, shelf stable blood that can be grown in theater as opposed to having to bring them in. These are the types of innovations that we want our war fighters to have access to. We can only do that if we continue to have a vibrant biotech industry. And so we are at a point in which if we don't raise the alarm, it's possible the Chinese could pass us up.
Absolutely. And this report shows
all of this can be avoided, however.
Yeah, they've spent the last 20 years trying to get ahead of us in this really important area. And just put up the drugs that we depend on China for, 23% of all of our pharmaceuticals, 30% of the raw ingredients that we need, 95% of ibuprofen is controlled by China, 40 to 45% of penicillin. How did we let that happen? And is this proposal that you all are making, how quickly can it change that?
Well, I mean, we let this happen because we don't have the plan. The Chinese, as you intimated, they have a plan. They've been working that plan for 20 years now, and their plan is working. They, of course, have a very different system than we do. They throw a lot of money and a lot of people at solving their problems. We spend our money in a very targeted fashion in our best days, and we incentivize the private sector in our universities and other government labs to do their work. And so we have proposals here that would allow us to optimize our system, and we think in fairly short order we could stabilize our position as global leader and empower the Pentagon to start procuring some bio materials that will make us stronger and other biological capabilities that are keep our people safe.